What's up guys? This is Sun Warrior 2 here. Now today's video I will be talking about my latest clear on ToA normal. Yeah, I just cleared ToA normal 100 like this Wednesday. And as you can see from my profile, I have cleared ToA normal. I've been playing for 1 year, like past 1 year. And this account is more than 1 year old, and I have just only cleared ToA normal like this Wednesday. So yeah, it's kind of a big achievement. So now I have it's a sign that I can now farm ToA, and I'll have a constant supply of crystals and summons every month. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. But today I'm not going to talk about like all the sentimental stuff and what you can get for ToA and stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Today I'm going to talk about like my ToA clear and what monsters I use, plus how my monsters are ruined. So I'm going to show you my ToA clears first. Then I will afterwards show you my monster runes. So I'll only show you my ToA clears from ToA 80, 90, and finally 100, because those are the three main hard stages. Three main super hard stages for like every ToA month. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Oh yeah, before we start off, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel, because most of the people who watch my videos are actually not subscribed. So yeah, if you subscribe and you decide to change your mind, no problem, it's free, right? It's free, no consequences. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and comment what you think in the comment section below. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first we're gonna start off here with ToA 70. Yeah, so the team I used is Beretta, Jean, Spectra, Pharaoh, and Beladion, 2A Beladion and 2A Spectra. So I'm just gonna give you like how do I say this? Yeah, insider on why I actually picked this team. It's actually a free-to-play beginner ToA team. So I picked Spectra for that 19% universal speed lead. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You get more turns. You can outspeed the opponents, the enemy monsters. Yeah, and I put him on the spear because his third skill is an AOE that can put 2 dots on everyone, on all enemies, that lasts for 3 turns. Yeah. And second skill has a reduced attack bar to 0, single target. So it's pretty nice to use him. Yeah, he's pretty good. And if that AOE goes through, he stuns quite well. Then I picked Jean because of her third skill. Yeah, as you can see, I 6-starred my Jean. Yeah. I picked Jean because of her third skill. Her third skill is a good form of control in the event that Beretta's Despair stun and Pheromoss's second skill stun doesn't proc. Jean is a good way of making sure that the opponents don't just randomly attack the squishy monsters. Plus, her second skill is a cleanse, pure cleanse, single target, and invincibility. Then her first skill is a 20% stun, plus increase HP of ally with lowest HP by 10%. Then, speaking of squishy monsters, we have Spectra, 2A Spectra. He's actually pretty nice as a form of damage control after 2A. Before 2A, he's good as a form of turn control for the opponent because third skill slow. Yeah. But now he actually has a third skill slow and attack break. And as you can see from here, yeah, 100% chance of slow and attack break. So now he's a good form of damage control. And he also has that 30% chance to reduce enemies' attack bar by 30%, and that's also AoE. Then you see that attack there? Yeah, by Spectra just now? Yeah, that was special assault. Yeah, that actually deals damage according to enemies' max HP. So in ToA, it's irreplaceable. Actually, not really. It's replaceable by Sigmar's, because Sigmar's does the third skill and second skill does the same thing. Deal damage according to enemies' max HP. In ToA, that's amazing, because all those monsters technically have like a lot of HP and a lot of attack. So deal tons of damage, kill them fast, and that's the key role. And you can see that damage control, slow, and attack break. Yasima's actually not really dealing a lot of damage because of that slow and attack break there. Yeah, that's why having a Spectre is pretty nice. Then you have your Pheromos. Pheromos has a second skill, stun, 30% stun AoE. Then the first skill has a dot. So yeah, that's why I picked him. Yeah, this is ToA 80. Yeah, this is ToA 80. Yeah, it's the same team. So yeah, I picked Vermos because of that first skill dot and that AoE stun. Sometimes it really doesn't proc. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't proc. It's pretty shit. But sometimes it just stuns everyone and just keeps on dotting. I put him on Despair for that extra turn, yeah, because yeah, as you can see, he also cleanses. He also does AoE cleanse of 1 debuff every turn. Yeah, so if opponent has like tons of dots, it's quite good actually. So you don't get like a whole bunch of damage and ending up needing a lot of healing. Then I picked 2-way Beladion because he's a good source of defense breaks. Yeah, his first skill defense break, 100%. Plus, after 2-way him, after second awaken him, his second skill also reduces enemies' attack bar by 15%, with a 50% chance, I think. Yeah, I think so. Plus, his second skill also strips, so if opponent has like tons of buffs, yeah, it's a good form of stripping. Yeah, but as you can see just now, I used that strip on the Amon because, yeah, after you second awaken him, his second skill, if used on a monster without buff, it actually increases his attack bar by 15%. Yeah, and it actually deals a lot of damage. Then after that, I also used him because his third skill is a heal, 30% heal, plus a 35%. Oh wait, or was it a 40%? Yeah, 40% heal, and a 35% attack bar increase. Yeah, so every time you heal, you get an extra attack bar increase. So it's pretty nice actually. So your monsters can turn cycle more. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this team. But for ToA 100, oh wait, I forgot. This isn't ToA 80. Great. Okay, looks like I got the order wrong. And by the way, this is actually recorded. This audio is actually recorded after I recorded this run. So yeah, looks like I got it wrong. The previous one was ToA 80, and this is actually ToA 90. Yeah. The next one should be ToA 100. So that one I actually used a different team, because the other one actually required a different team. It's pretty hard. Everyone, as I saw from like the chat before I actually went for ToA 100 and after I went for ToA 100, a lot of people were complaining it was pretty hard. I think once you see the first wave, I think you should know why. I'm pretty sure everyone died to that first wave. Yeah. So I'm just gonna stop here and wait for ToA 100. Yeah. Okay, so now we're at ToA 100. Okay, so you see the first wave. Okay, I picked a different team and I actually manual ToA 100 because, yeah, the first wave was pretty hard. I actually changed my team comp a bit. Instead of using Jean and Belladion, I actually picked Fran Lauren because Lauren has as usual, I have said like tons of times before, has a decreased attack bar, maximum up to 60%, then has a defense break, and also first skill has a slow, and second skill also has a strip. So yeah, that's why I used Lauren, because of that nice defense break, reduce attack bar, and that strip. Then I also used Fran because I needed some immunity and some more reliable heals. And as you can see, a lot of people actually died to this because the Juno and the Annabelle were pretty painful. You couldn't really like dot them too much because you actually had to go for the Junos first. Yeah, because the Junos actually 100% cleanse themselves and gain like, I think 10% HP. Everyone by 10% of their HP every time every time a debuff is removed. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. So you can't really dot them too much, and you have to control them quite a bit. Yeah, you saw that heal? Yeah. Plus the Annabelle actually has a second skill AoE cleanse, so it's really a pure cleanse team. So you actually really have to watch out to make sure they don't just cleanse everything and your whole team just falls apart because they just keep on attacking. Plus Annabelle also has a third skill, AoE slow and defense break. So it makes your whole team vulnerable to Juno's attacks and even their own attacks, because defense break reduces your defense by like 70%. It's a lot of damage. So now that the Junos is gone, we can put in some dots. Yeah, we can finally put in some dots now that the Junos are gone. And you see, like I said, Pharaoh actually procs a lot. Yeah, procs a lot, just like everyone says, the proc god Diana. Sometimes his dot procs, sometimes it doesn't. See, like I said, it doesn't proc. Sometimes it procs like crazy, sometimes it totally proc. So yeah, that's it for the first wave. I think the second wave wasn't too much. Yeah, the second wave wasn't too much. The only annoying part was actually the cleanse from the Vero and the AoE sleep and slow from the Aria. No, from the was it Aria or Akia? Yeah, Aria, yes. Aria, yes. And that strike of rejection. Yeah, that strike of rejection and that third skill, pretty painful. Glancing, slow, sleep. It's AoE. The worst part is it's AoE. If I didn't have that immunity, my whole team would be sleeping. Like, seriously. Okay, here comes that sleep. Ooh, yep, like I said. If I didn't have that Vero, my whole team would be like, sleepy, no more wakey. This is why Spectre is useful in certain cases, because he's a good form of turn control, so that he makes sure that the Akias, no, the Arias, yes, the Arias, they don't take too much. Was it the Arias? Yeah, I think it's the Aria. Yeah, make sure that the Arias don't take too many turns, and yeah, pretty much. To make sure the Arias don't take too much turns, they remain stunned, and they don't just sleep my whole team. And then here comes the Veramos to cleanse all the slow, the glancing, and the unrecoverable. Then the Fran to make sure that the immunity's constantly there, and my team doesn't fall into the Aria's sneaky tricks. Yeah? So that's pretty much it for why I picked this team for this stage. Okay, so now moving on to the boss stage. This month's boss is Lilith. Yeah, Lilith, the one that can split into 3. Yeah, the reincarnation split, I think. It's annoying, but I heard that Arthuros is even more annoying, so I was lucky. And yes, I clicked that button on accident, so now my whole screen is black for the next 5 seconds. Yeah, now it's back. Okay, so Lilith, the main thing I actually used for Lilith was, used on Lilith was that nice, damage based on opponent max HP, because they have really, really high HP. And then I used Lauren so that Lilith doesn't keep on attacking. Then the Pharaoh to cleanse the defense break. And then I had the Pharaoh and Beretta to stun both of the incarnations. Then Lauren just keeps on controlling the incarnations and Lilith herself. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much how I cleared it. Cleared ToAN 100 with Lilith. And you definitely need the immunity to make sure that your attack bar doesn't just keep on getting... Okay, never mind. Your attack bar still got sapped even though you have immunity. But yeah. But still, it's nice that you have to have them constantly stunned and dot. Got it? Yeah, let's see. Another 2 dots. Yep. By the time they take a turn, they're pretty screwed. Then we have... Yeah, we got the... Lilith only took like 2 turns throughout the whole thing. Wait, or is it 3? Yeah, I think she only took like 3 turns throughout the whole thing. Like, she didn't even get stunned. She didn't even take a turn to get stunned after she was supposedly supposed to fuse with her incarnations. She didn't even get the chance. Like, yeah. That was too much. It was too much. So, I'm just going to, after this, I am going to remove that green incarnation. Yeah, the green incarnation is going to die when she takes a turn. Yep. And fast forward. Then, we are going to deal with the red incarnation. Yeah, she's pretty much dead when she takes a turn, because, yeah, dotted. She got dots. Then the Lilith is not going to take a turn. Yeah, dies. Then I am going to fastest forward. I'm going to... Yep, and she is almost dead by now. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And there we go. Okay, there we go. Yep, and Lilith just dies. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the runes. So, we have Fran here. The main thing about Fran is to make sure that she has good speed, good HP, and has relatively okay attack. I only have her on like around 1k attack. Yeah, around there. She doesn't need too much, she just needs about 1k in total to get that decent heal. Then pretty much just get her on low crit rate, low crit damage, mediocre resistance, minus about 41%. Okay, but can be improved. Accuracy, get her on slightly higher accuracy because she has a first skill, reduced attack bar and attack break. Yeah, so just rune her fast, rune her faster, tankier, and slightly juicier in terms of attack. Yeah. Okay, so for the runes, I put her on Violent Will, speed, HP, try to get that extra speed and substats, that extra speed, that extra accuracy, and that attack and substats to make sure that she can heal nicely and she is fast enough. Yeah, I grinded some of the runes. The grinds are not so good, but still decent. Yeah, still decent. Yeah, and get some resistance on her as well, so that she can resist certain things when the immunity is off. Yeah, and for early game, you can put her on Swift. She still works pretty well. you can still get that extra speed boost from the Swift set, but as you carry on to late game, you're gonna mid game, late game, you're gonna have to move on to Violent, because yeah, she works better on Violent with that extra turn. Yeah, with that extra turn, that extra speed. Yeah, pretty much that. But you still got to maintain that speed even though with Violent. But of course, if you choose to rune her on Swift instead of Violent, your speed is gonna have to be higher though. You still have to maintain that amount of speed and substats, but you're still gonna have that speed boost. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. So yeah, time to move on to the next one. Okay, so for this one we have Lauren. So Lauren, I put her on Swift, on speed HP. So you need to make sure that she has that speed and substats, speed and subs. Make sure she has low crit rate, low crit damage, and mediocre resistance. But you can choose to not give her resistance and focus more on accuracy, as what I did, so that she can get that reduced attack bar, defense break, and that strip in. Then gotta make sure that she has high HP and high speed. Defense, you can try to make sure that she has okay defense, maybe around 700 to 800 would be pretty nice. HP, try to make sure she has at least plus around plus maybe 14k, when around 13 to 14k for early game should be pretty nice. But for late game, you might want to choose to move on to Violent instead of Swift. Yeah. Okay, so make sure that she's on speed HP with some defense, speed, and defense, speed, and attack. No, not attack. Defense, speed, and HP, and accuracy and substats. Make sure she's decently fast, decently tanky, because she really can deal damage. So yeah, decently tanky, decently fast, and make sure that she has some good accuracy to make sure so that she can get that attack bar reduction, defense break, strip, and slow in. So that's pretty much all you need for Lauren in ToA. Okay, so now we move on to Jean. So Jean, we have here, I put her on Swift, but potentially, if you have the right Violent set, you can put her on Violent. She works best on Violent. She likes to proc a lot on Violent, but I put her on Swift so that she's faster, because I don't really have the right Violent sets. So you put her on Swift, give her that bit of defense, and that bit of that whole lot of HP and subs. Yeah, as you can see, I got her to 36k in HP, plus I managed to get her resistance up to 75% as well. Get her low on crit rate and crit damage so that she doesn't crit so much, but make sure that she's nice and tanky with good HP, good defense, so that she can handle that AoE provoke well. Yeah, so, and also make sure her accuracy's there so that she can get the provoke in as well. Okay, now we move on to her runes. So I put her on Swift, speed HP, give her some speed and substats, some HP and substats, and some defense as well, to make sure that she's fast enough to outspeed opponents, outspeed the opponent monsters, and give the opponents a continuous strain of provoke throughout the whole match. Then put her on nice HP and defense so that she can endure all the attacks from the opponent's base for skills, and while your other monsters deal all the big damage. Then also put her on good resistance so that she doesn't get defense broken, because defense break is a 70% reduction in defense. It's gonna be pretty painful. So make sure she has high resistance so she can resist a whole bunch of defense breaks, anti-heal, attack break, dots, and a whole bunch of other debuffs. Then also put her on good accuracy to make sure that she can get those that provoke in, and yeah, that's pretty much it for Jean. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Jean. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we have ToA Spectra. I put 2A Spectra on Swift, and I managed to get his speed pretty high. So my 2A Spectra's on Swift, speed, crit damage, HP, so that although he is nice and tanky with around 16k HP, he can still get that nice decent damage with that second skill. And maybe some slight damage with the third skill that scales in attack speed as well. So make sure that he has nice decent speed, get that HP and substat so that he's tanky even though he can deal damage. Plus make sure he has good accuracy so that he can get that attack break and speed break, plus that reduced attack bar in, and also that crit damage, some crit damage to make sure he can deal some damage when he crits. Also get some crit rate and substats so that he doesn't have like 15% crit rate and doesn't crit at all. Yeah, even though you have those artifacts that deal more damage when you crushing hit, not gonna be useful here. But just try to make sure that he has decent crit rate so that he can deal damage and he's tanky enough to take some hits. Okay, then we have the runes. So I put him on speed, crit damage, HP. You can choose to put it on speed, HP as well if you don't want him to deal. If you want him to just be pure tankiness and just plainly be there for that. Just for that attack bar reduction, slow, and attack break. Yeah, it's fine. Some people do that, but just make sure that he's plainly on Swift, and you make sure you get that speed and that HP and substats. Speed is of utmost importance because he should be very fast. Plus, he has the highest base speed in the entire game of 126. Yeah, 126 is the highest base speed in the whole of Summoner's War. Then also make sure that he has some decent HP and decent accuracy so that he can get that slow and attack break in. If you put him on speed, HP, I'm guessing that's why you bring him in. You brought him in, so make sure he has good accuracy. And also make sure he has good defense so that he can take some hits as well. Without that defense break, of course. So yeah, let's move on to the next monster. Okay, so here we have Beretta. I put him on Despair. Yeah, I put Beretta on Despair so that he can stun with his AoE third skill and his second and first skill single target. I put him on speed, HP, so that he is tanky enough to take some hits, but is fast enough to go before some monsters and dot them and reduce attack bar and stun. I also got some accuracy and substats. As you can see, his accuracy is about 50%. Also get him a low crit rate. Try to go as low as possible because he already gets a crit rate buff from his first skill if he actually crits. Crit damage, I didn't actually put it in substats. He actually doesn't really need it. Resistance, try to get some so that he can resist some stuff, and he doesn't get a whole lot of defense breaks and slows and dots. Also make sure he has nice defense, slightly higher defense, but I focused more on his HP, so yeah. And by the way, for ToA, you don't actually need too much HP. I don't actually need too much HP, not too much HP. Actually, yeah, too much HP. You don't actually need too much HP, because just make sure that your opponents are all stunned and you should be fine. Then we have the runes. As you can see, his runes are not really very premium. Yeah, mostly just like 5-star runes, and a few 6 stars dotted here and there. You don't really need 6-star runes for ToA. All you need is just 5-star runes. As long as you get the stats right, you get the right stats, you hit the minimum, you don't really need too much, and you get the right comp, you should be fine. So, as you can see, I put him on speed, HP. I have some speed and substats, some accuracy, resistance, and HP. Of course, as you can see, I don't really have too much defense because I focused more on his HP. I focused quite a bit on his HP, and yeah, I didn't really put too much on defense. So yeah, that's pretty much my Beretta in a nutshell. Mostly just 5 and 6, mostly just 5 stars with a few 6 stars runes dotted in there. But that's also pretty much the runes for my next monster, as you will see here. Okay, so this is my Beldian, my 2A Beldian. His stats are not really very premium. Yeah, just at the bare minimal. I put him on Swift, on Speed, HP. He's not really the fastest, the tankiest, or pretty much anything. Yeah. I put him on, like, make sure he has like okay HP, maybe around 20k, and okay defense. Your defense for Billion should be fine because he is a defense type, so his base defense should be pretty high. Make sure he has low crit rate, crit damage, because he's not supposed to really deal damage. Yeah, he's just supposed to do in that defense break. Speaking of defense breaks, you need that accuracy to be pretty high to get that defense break and that strip in. So, yeah, and he also has a reduced attack bar and first skill, so it'll be nice to have that accuracy there. Resistance, try to get him like higher resistance. My resistance here is pretty low. Yeah, my resistance here is actually pretty low. I should get that resistance increased because I actually use him in raids. So yeah, get that high resistance, maybe about 40% should be fine. So now let's just move on to his runes. Okay, so here we have him. I put him on Swift. I actually didn't know I put him on Focus. So I put him on Swift Focus, Speed, HP. Practically all his runes are 5 stars, actually. So you don't really have to make sure your Belgian has premium runes to clear ToA normal. I think that's the worry and a concern about most early gamers. So just to give you my context, you don't really need to have like super premium runes. Just make sure that he has like he has even 5-star runes work. Make sure he has the main stats: speed, HP, and some resistance, slight resistance, and definitely accuracy. That's mainly the few stats you need to get there. Some speed, HP, accuracy, and some resistance. If you're using him in raids, you might want to make sure he has some defense as well. So just some heads up, because I'm just giving you like an early game context in terms of things, because I myself am actually in early game. So yeah, and if you want to know how I get my runes to like high efficiency, even though they're like 5-star, go and watch like my videos go and watch the videos that I posted earlier. I remember I had a video on rune crafting, so yeah, go and watch that. That can give you a lot of tips in terms of how to get your runes nice and fast, or nice and full of crit rate and stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the next monster. Okay, so the next monster is Vero. I'm actually not gonna show his runes because I've like showed you guys like so many times. I haven't actually changed his runes out yet. He's on violent energy, speed, HP. Just make sure that he's decently fast, decent tanky, with some defense, some quite a bit of HP, quite some speed, some accuracy, and resistance. Make sure that his crit rate and crit damage is relatively low, so that he doesn't crit too much, because his main goal isn't to crit, it's just to dot, stun, and cleanse. So make sure he's fast, has decent accuracy, and he is pretty tanky. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for Vero. And just for your info, do not fuse Vero as your first fusion monster. Always fuse Sigmarus, because Vero's only useful in certain situations, like for example ToA, and maybe some Guild Wars and Siege. So yeah, there's pretty much not a lot of things that you can use Vero for. So yeah, fuse Sigmarus first, don't fuse Vero. He's gonna slow down your progress like quite a bit. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel, and if you like what you see, put it in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all next time. This is Sun Warrior.